All right, so I cut my papers, and so if you look back at that original design, you can see I'm gonna do the bottoms right there. So I'm gonna use my repositionable tape. I love my big tape gun. It's been super good to me. So I'm gonna get that on the bottom so it adds that little look. Oh, now I will reposition and use the repositionable even with my board standing up. I don't know about you, if you own one or not yet, but if you do, I have found that I can totally tape and put it upright like this. And so I think that works really well for me when I'm looking. And you see how much color that added right away already. So then we're also looking at our I want to call them a 4x6, but they're not. They're 3.5 by 5.5. And you can see how it just sits right there in the middle of those boxes, kind of centered. And again, I change mine up sometimes from the actual design. Not because it's not a great one, but I'll have a different thought or different paper. And I love to look at that, lining it up. And of course, if you haven't used it, they've got a great ruler that has magnets. And if you are like me and you're not as good with lining things up, you can totally use that to help you. And I still feel like sometimes I need the new ruler that's out. So I love to do that as well. You can see where my big pictures are going to go, and I will show you those. We have had such a good time with these pictures. We went to the Central Florida Zoo, does an evening full of lights, which is in Sanford. I believe it could, when I was little, it was definitely called the Sanford Zoo, and it has changed its name over time. And you can see there was just so many cool things with the light up at night, and it was just amazing. So there's two of our wonderful pictures from that evening. Now I'm going to add these smaller ones, which will hold a 3.5 by 2.5 picture in them. And they're just so darn stinking cute, this size picture frame. And I just realized as I'm laying that one down, I'm thinking, ooh, the design had it with the journaling box at the bottom. I think I'm going to put my journaling box up there. Now, with repositionable, if you don't know and you're using the green repositionable, you can pull that right off and re-stick it down. So I'm going to see if I like the journaling box at the top. If not, we can totally pick that back up. So here we go. I've got my other one right here. And I'm leaving that little bit of border so you can catch all those vivid, beautiful colors that it has. Love that so much. And then here's my top one. And again, just leaving that little bit of catch the eye of those beautiful colors in between. And now I'm going to put my pictures with it. My husband and I had such a great time here at these. It always seems to come out right around Christmas time, but then our zoo does one and it wasn't Christmas time, and they're just so amazing. But you can see all these spectacular lights, and the colors just totally work with this layout, which I love. We just have such a really good time with these. So here's those, and I'm just about to journal there. So then I'm going to add those stickers that you saw. There's that cute sticker sheet. Well, it's always better when you can read it. So you saw that the layouts give you those, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, here's the sweet. The sweet went on this side. So I'm going to peel that off. But before I stick it down, it looks like there's that really cool border that got added right onto this. So I always like to start from the right to the left. That's how my brain tends to function. You know, everybody's got their way. I just tend to be left to right. Give that a little push. You can see you can do this on this great board. And then the word sweet went right above that. And I think that's so cute. You notice it's kind of touching the edge of that paper. So it makes that seamless transition across. And again, using that to line it up. And you can see how quickly these pages are going. And here we go, that's all lined up. And I love that they even cut this piece, so you're not doing that. I don't know about you, but I've done that a lot in my time as a scrapbooker, really cutting things and going from there. So here's the sweet summer moments part. You know, if it wasn't summertime, you could have probably cut that out and just had sweet moments. But I love how it looks like a film tag. And then here's the rest of the stickers. And I'm going to get those laid down, you know, just because we needed pops. You know, I live in Florida, so it's always hot here. And we're always needing something to keep us cooler. And they have these beautiful stars on here if you haven't seen those. But I really feel like these are just gorgeous. These remind me of pops when we were kids. We were just talking about that in the red, white, and blue ones that were so cool. And it was just a fun night. So I'm going to add those stars onto the page. And if you look at the exact one, you'll notice that they're slightly different. Again, because I always like to make my embellishments a little different than everybody else's, of course. This makes my heart happy. And my mom says I can't have anything like everybody else, which is probably a true statement. But I love that this brought out the color right there. I think that's super cute. I'm going to add a few more of these little stars on the page. Okay, and I have a really bad problem. I don't know about you, but sometimes there's never enough stickers. I feel like when we had the sticker books as a kid, I loved to play with them. I think I never kind of grew out of that phase. And I still love them so much. So I'm down to 2 really cute ones. Now you notice that these stars make that beautiful triangle to draw your eye. Please keep that in mind. Now here's the really cool thing is all these simple pages tend to already have that all done for you. You don't have to spend a lot of time designing, which I think is so important. But I'm going to put that last one there. And so now the sticker page is done and this is done. And we have completed this page in less than 10 minutes. And now all I have left is journaling, which I'm going to do without you. I'm going to write my date and information there, but please make sure you always journal. Later on, your family's not going to remember. Anyway, I hope you have a magical rest of your day. And I'm Natasha Fetter again from Magical Moments and Magical Memories. And follow me on Facebook as well. Bye. Have a great day.